Okay, number 7, how long after going gluten-free will I start to feel better? The general time frame is 3 to 6 months, and this is for most people. There's going to be some degree of improvement within that time frame. Now, I've seen some people react much faster. I've seen people react within days of going gluten-free, and many of you who watch this show have reported back to me after changing your diet within 1, 2, 3, 4 days, dramatic reductions of pain, dramatic reductions of inflammation. So it can be that fast, although it's not that fast for everyone. Some people, it's more along this line where there's just a, if this is a symptom graph, it's just kind of like a slow, steady improvement over time. So if the bottom represents time and this up here represents improvement, we see kind of a general curve of a trend that's just a slow, steady improvement over time in that 3 to 6 month range. Now, a lot of times, though, if you're at a place where you've developed autoimmune disease, so if you have a form of autoimmune, in my experience with autoimmune disease, it's 18 months. Now, it doesn't mean you don't start feeling better before 18 months, because feeling better is the question, but really, to get autoimmune disease, in many cases, to go to sleep, it takes at least 18 months because you need 3 turnovers, 3 cycles of immune cells, right? That in one cycle takes 6 months, so 6 times 3 being 18 months, which is where that number comes from. So again, the answer varies from person to person, can be as quickly as days, but if you're really trying to give the diet a try and you're not sure and you haven't been tested and you really want to give it a fair shake, 6 months would be the recommendation for you to start with it, dedicating 6 months, because the first 8 weeks or so are going to be just dedicated to learning curve, right? There's a 8 to 12 week learning curve when people go gluten-free, and a lot of times they do it wrong, they do it incorrectly, they make tons of mistakes, and these small mistakes, can lead to persistent inflammation. It only takes what's called a 20 parts per million rule, which 20 parts per million is 1 breadcrumb. So that's the size of gluten that can cause inflammation for 2 to 3 months. And if you're new to the diet, you're not really being restrictive enough, like you could have 20 parts per million coming through and you could be persistently reacting and not feeling improvements because you're making mistakes. So keep that in mind. So again, the answer is it's different for different people, but days to months is a general answer for you to focus on.